When I said the name of the series is Unscripted Wisdom.
My life has been unscripted.
Wow.
And it has been totally unfiltered, unscripted, and that is the essence of life. When you are hungry, only then you can appreciate food.
Yes.
When you have unpleasant experiences in life, that is what makes life so beautiful. I have just heard one part of the story. There's much more to this. I can't put it into words how grateful I am. Right now, I am feeling like a newborn.
Thank you so much, Ankur. You have found time for India Podcast in our special series, Unscripted Wisdom. And this only entails the story of what life means. So we are very happy to have you to tell us your journey and what life means to you.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to express myself, to give me a platform to share my story, and I feel a lot of people will be able to relate to this.
Yes.
Thank you once again.
Ankur, what do you think about the whole thought about when I said the name of the series is Unscripted Wisdom, what life means? What does it mean to you?
This is very interesting for me. You know why?
Why?
Because I feel my life has been unscripted.
Wow.
And it has been totally unfiltered, unscripted, and that is the essence of life. That is the beauty of life. So I was particularly very happy and excited when I heard this name because it relates to my soul, I feel.
But do you think unscripted life also means it is uncertain and you always want to be on the edge of not knowing anything?
But that is the fun of life.
But isn't it stressful?
If you see it that way. But I see it the other way. When life is uncertain, that is the fun. We love having surprise birthday parties.
Yeah.
Why? Because that is the essence of a human being. That is the charm. Just imagine a life where you know everything. What is the fun?
It's like knowing a movie and how it'll happen, how it'll end. But if the surprise is not pleasant.
That is a part of life, isn't it? And that is what makes good so good, because there are things which are not so good. When you are hungry, only then you can appreciate food. Yes. When you have unpleasant experiences in life, that is what makes life so beautiful. And I feel that is why I am here today. Why I feel my experience is so rich, because I have gone through ups and downs, and that has made me so much more wise.
But were you always like this, or you thought that you needed, we call it spiritual journey, it's too jargonized now, or maybe coming to Art of Living 23 years back? Was it something like you thought, ab to mujhse kuch nahi ho raha hai, I need treatment, mujhe kuch aur de do? How does one step into this? For you, what was the reason to come on the path?
I feel I was looking for something. I was looking for a mentor, a guide. I used to pray that I feel very lost. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? What is that one thing which I'm passionate about? Is there someone who can guide me? And then my neighbor suggested that there's this program, and my mother signed me up for it. And before I knew, I found a group of people who gave me a platform which was very non-judgmental.
Okay.
And with unconditional love. And I think I just blossomed in that space, in that ecosystem. You just become the best version of yourself.
So did you also find the reason why you were not able to find your passion before they told you? You said you got a non-judgmental environment. But much before that also you were existing in the same space. So what is the shift that you couldn't find yourself before this? But when Art of Living happened, everything becomes so clear.
Because coming from a conservative Marwadi family, I felt everything was pre-decided, and I became a rebel.
Okay.
I didn't want to join the family business or do the so-called SOPs, which a Marwadi eldest son of the family has to do.
You were the eldest.
Yeah.
It's a lot of expectations.
A lot of expectations, a lot of judgments,
yes,
a lot of questions. And I felt out of place. I was not at home.
You had the FOMO.
Yeah. I just wanted to go out, and I felt I'm a bird, I'm a free bird. Just let me out, and I will become the best version of myself.
Was rebelling not helping you? That be a rebel, do what you want to do. You want to go out of the Marwari norms, do that. You could have done that other way also.
No, because my parents were very strict, very conservative family. And I remember one day I just left home and I was just pulled up for that very badly.
They must have gone shattered emotionally.
Yeah. And they were very strict. So I thought I have to do something out of the box.
Which is acceptable. Yeah.
I need some help. I think that was the essence. And being a boy, being a man, you can't show that you are weak.
Yes.
So I think I was not able to express, because you're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to know everything as a man, and you can't cry. So I used to cry all night on the pillow. That what am I doing? So much so that I even contemplated ending my life. That there's no point of life. Today, when I look back, I feel it's so funny. But back then, it was very intense. It was so shattering and breaking.
When you see this, this is very common. What you're saying is something I think you're just bringing together what a part of it I might have experienced. A part of it I see others, even now. The Gen Z, as we say, they experience. So when you look, that a part of you is there still around. Not everybody has found it, and not everyone you can force to find the way you found it. Do you still feel helpless looking at them?
You know, I feel very empowered, because I feel that somewhere I was born to help them. So I'm not coming from a sense of complaining or helplessness, but I'm coming from a sense of responsibility towards them. And I feel somewhere I can help them because I have gone through the same journey. I've walked the same path. So I feel very excited because it gives me meaning to life. It gives me purpose. And coincidentally, that is what I'm doing.
Yes.
Every day of my life, I'm just having conversations with people.
And I think the context has changed. Now when I'm talking to you, I feel the context which I could develop with you back then, some 13 years back we met. And now, you were on the path even then. But now I can just sense that your context, it has become so deep. It's like you're more deep and deep and deep. It's infinite. Then also you were deep. But now imagine you might have gone some 100 feet down. And I see you play around it. Like with me, what I experience of you now and then, I'm still trying to relate. Because then I used to see you talk about knowledge, but now I see you being a source of knowledge.
But that is true for you also, isn't it?
Maybe your experience, but becoming a source of knowledge from someone who is imbibing it. Have you felt the shift in you?
I have felt a very big shift in me.
On the journey.
Especially after going to Africa. I felt there is something which has changed in me. I was very outside. I was very superficial. I felt I was too loud. But when I just went within, and there was a sense of calmness and serenity, then I could see different perspectives. I could relate to people coming from different backgrounds, different contexts, and that made me help people in a very broad spectrum of scheme of things, because I could understand the space from where they are coming. So I feel the degree to which you can just roll back yourself, just be calm and be peaceful, you are able to see through.
Even being on the path, you think people need that degree of shift as an ongoing, or just coming to Art of Living, we can be relaxed, now we are there, or there the journey begins?
It's an ongoing journey. I'm still on the journey. I'm still moving forward, and every day I'm going deeper, I feel.
So since Africa you mentioned, now that's the reason also why I was very intrigued when I heard your stories yesterday, a day before. Now we are recording this, but what touched me was I was not expecting this. I was unaware you went to Africa, West Africa particularly, and not being aware when you listen to someone's experience, because the rest in the room were aware where you were, and everybody was full of the awe about you. Someone was saying, Ankur bhaiya to wahi rehte. And I was like, I didn't know he went to West Africa, when and how. And I was like, I know him. What? He's the same person. The moment you start talking, I was like, there's something has happened, something you've brought back.
But I was very happy that you could make it.
Yes.
And that is why I wanted you to hear my story. Because I know you come from a background where you will be able to appreciate in a very
Yes.
different way, which others will not be able to.
At least I will be able to relate to the experiences you had. But before going to Africa with you, I want to go to Mahakumbh with you. We're sitting in the most spiritual space or the year they've defined 2025. I don't know, in many, many ways. Some say the most powerful year, the most, the year which will give you salvation. So, believing so, you went to Mahakumbh. You have come all the way from Africa to come and be a part of that energy that everyone is talking about. Did you receive salvation?
Frankly speaking, I was in Africa. This is about a couple of months back.
Yeah.
And I was watching a reel. And I felt such a strong feeling of FOMO that I want to go to this place. This looks incredible.
Yeah.
The kind of people, the kind of enthusiasm. And before I knew, I was in Mahakumbh. Just a month later, I was in Mahakumbh. And you know what? I didn't go with any preconceived notion. I just went with the innocence of a child.
You were not expecting that it will bless you something, because we see Mahakumbh has been received positively in India. The kind of population you've seen gone there is humongous. I don't think ever everyone expected. But we see a major part of the population is also going out of that expectation. कि अब तो कुछ अच्छा होगा जिंदगी में, अब तो हमको मिल गया जो मिलना था. So, is that true?
So this was the second part of my story. So I went with an open mind.
Yeah.
But what I experienced there is something which I have read about, but not experienced firsthand. I could actually feel that energy. I could feel what faith can do. I saw people who are 90-year-old walking for tens of kilometers, right? And I could see when you take that dip, how free you feel. Because thousands of people, that energy is just incredible. You feel so light. Is it the intention with which people are going that creates the energy? I feel the faith. I feel the faith with which they go. And since this is happening since thousands of years, it is something so special for these individuals. And I feel it is like, what do you call that? It is, you just catch on to it. It's magnetic. You don't have an option. No distraction with the crowd, with all the chaos around. You were able to find that energy. You feel you are one. In that crowd, you feel you are one with that energy. You don't associate yourself as a separate body at one point. You feel this is one person walking, one Mahakumbh, one individual higher consciousness which is taking the dip, and you are part of that higher plane. That experience is ethereal. Which was the most surreal moment for you in the whole journey? Because Mahakumbh could have been a whole journey in itself. I felt when Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar ji took us to the Sangam. So you went with him? Yeah, I went with him, and it was not planned. He didn't choose that you will come. Yeah, but I think I'm the chosen one. So we just went with him on the boat, and the moment we took a dip with him, I felt, I'm just sharing my heart out. I just felt it's done now. I don't have anything else to achieve in this life. I feel so content, so fulfilled. I've received everything.
Would this dip be different if you do it after the Mahakumbh is over?
I don't know, because I feel more than anything, it is about you. You are the source of everything. As Gurudev says, you can take Mahakumbh anywhere. You are walking, talking Sangam, you know. It is your faith, it is your prayer, it is your surrender to the higher power which makes you feel this way. And Mahakumbh gives you that ecosystem, I feel.
It gives you the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Which in our daily life we can't create.
It is challenging. I will not say you can't create, but it is challenging. But I know people who are sitting at their home and they are able to experience that. So that is the beauty of our culture, our heritage, is that you can create the highest wherever you are.
Okay.
Provided you are willing, provided you have
there is a will.
There is a real intense prayer. You know, I'm looking for something more. I want to look things beyond what comes to the naked eye.
Will it be same for people who don't go with this kind of mindset? Like, you are on the journey of knowledge, but there are people who've gone out of, I will say, belief, and a lot of time we do herd mentality. Sab ja rahe to hum to jayenge. It's a FOMO. So do you think they will experience or they will take back what others have taken with consciousness?
That is what I wanted to say. The ecosystem is such
Will you fall in place?
that you fall in place.
Whatever you have thought will not be
it
within.
Doesn't matter.
That's so amazing. I wish this could be there all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm thinking does not overpower, then what is supposed to happen?
Exactly.
Now we go and I go with you to West Africa.
You're welcome.
What was it like? When you think of West Africa, I don't know what to say. I can think of tall people. You know, they're like those sturdy, muscular, free. They're very different. In terms of humans also, I imagine them larger than life in every which way, physically. So how was it when you first time? What was that decision that you took? Ki I will choose out of the whole map. You circled it. Yahan pe mujhe jana hai.
So, couple of things. First was Gurudev was going to West Africa.
Okay.
So we just wanted to tag along with him and just spend time with him. The idea was not to spend a long period of time in West Africa. So we landed in West Africa and we spent time there.
This was how long back?
This was August 2022.
Okay.
But the moment I landed in West Africa, I felt very connected, effortlessly. I felt at home. And I was wondering if this is just my thought or if there is some
connect,
genuine connect to it. And then we came back with him. And then I proposed that I would like to serve there for some time. Can I go there for some time and spend time with these people, and can I do something for them? I feel connected to them, and Art of Living was very helpful, and they gave me a platform, and I was there.
Were you not scared? Because not because it has a different story, but we do see that it is, when we say underdeveloped or not so developed, putting yourself in a place which is not so developed in infrastructure, which also might have reflected in their minds and growth, and which could have socioeconomic multiple impact. Were you thinking, or were you aware you're going to face more challenges?
So I was not scared, but I was more aware and I was more careful.
You were aware where you were stepping in.
Yeah, and I was more careful of what I have signed up for. And I was very observant of what is going on around me. What are people saying? What is their thought process? I would hear stories of what goes on here.
How did the journey move around in West Africa? You started from which place?
So I started with Nigeria. And Nigeria being the so-called most notorious country of West Africa,
okay,
we were not allowed to step out of our building. If we have to go out, then it is to be
All the time, you're under that alert.
Yeah.
And why so? It's like a lot of crime in the
Lot
country.
of crime, and people want you to be safe
Okay.
than sorry, right? So they say just be. So then I started inviting people to my place, because that is the only way you can interact. If you cannot go out, then someone has to come in.
Yes.
Then I started hearing stories about their life, how they grew up, their village, tribes, culture, languages, hundreds of languages, hundreds of tribes in just Nigeria. And then I realized that I have just heard one part of the story. There's much more to this. And then I saw the depth, the love which they have, the warmth, the feeling of oneness which they have, the way they accepted me and I was one of them. And that was very beautiful.
What is their strength? We see them more, they're strong in emotions, or they've connected with culture, music. What is the strength you felt in them despite being from an underdeveloped place? What holds them with this oneness, understanding?
I feel they are more connected to nature.
Okay.
They are more connected to themselves. I think because of technology, we are more outward.
They are more inward.
They are more inward naturally, because they have less exposure to, especially the rural areas.
So they are more evolved.
I feel they are more evolved in a different perspective.
Okay.
And development to me means different things in different contexts.
Okay.
So I feel they are very developed and evolved in the sense that we are humans, we are not machines. And human values.
Emotional quotient was high.
Very high. And they were so concerned about me. Are you comfortable? Can we get something for you?
And that was not a facade. It's like they're not doing it for the sake of chivalrous attitude.
That is what made the difference. They were so genuine. They were so authentic in every word they spoke. It was amazing for me, because I come from a city, I come from a urban culture, where most of the times when you say, please take care of yourself,
we don't mean it.
We don't mean it.
We don't even mean how are you.
Yeah, and let us not judge it, but we don't mean it for whatever reason it is.
Whatever reason.
Yeah, good or bad.
Is it so that their minds are more free?
I feel they are less exposed and they are less busy.
So is it not ironically that to get that kind of development in your nature, which is evolved and connected to nature, you are being closed on the other side of your understanding of life, which doesn't let them grow economically? So is it, it's an imbalance any which way? Did you feel the imbalance in them?
I felt an imbalance, but what I learned is now is the time for the human race to get the best of both worlds. Okay. We need to be economically empowered. At the same time, we have to be rooted in our culture, in our ethos.
That brings the total balance. So the whole world is imbalanced that way. Because if West Africa is more of the human values, the other side only has money and power.
That is why we have to learn from each other and become the best versions of ourselves, which is evolved in both the aspects of
which is more important to happen before. If a West African society, people who are so inward to an extent, get power and economic upliftment, do you think they'll do better than the reverse side where you get power and economic upliftment first and then human values?
See, human values is the basis of everything.
So they are at it.
That is the foundation.
Yeah.
You build on a foundation. You can't build a building and then build the foundation. Isn't it?
What was most challenging with them? This was the strength you said, but what was real difficult in connecting? Language? Or what felt was a real challenge? This is where the work begins.
I feel prejudice.
Okay.
Today in the world, we are highly prejudiced about religion, about culture, geography. There are thousands of things which have compartmentalized us, that I am from this country, I am from this religion.
The color.
So there is a feeling of can I trust him? He's not from my religion.
So they have trust deficit.
So I feel somewhere I felt that they felt, are you here to convert us? Are you here to propagate Hinduism? And the very essence of Art of Living is spirituality and not religion. We are a spiritual organization.
Yes.
We just want you to be happy physically, mentally, emotionally, and in all the aspects of your life. And when I shared this in some of the TV interviews with Joy TV, they said this is very new for us. And we would appreciate if you could share these workshops.
They were able to trust that somebody has come without an agenda.
Yes. And I felt it has to reflect from your being.
Yes, it is your presence which might have connected, because words fall short.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can go and say, I'm here for your good, but they won't believe.
Words you can manipulate, but
Yes.
presence you can't manipulate, isn't it?
And they also have an ability to identify
They
that.
are so intuitive. I feel each one of us is so intuitive.
Mm.
You can manipulate in a short, I think, for a short time, but each one of us can see through. And especially Africans, I felt they're very intuitive and they're very in sync.
What is the major problem you felt with people there? Because they have good elements around them. They have nature connect. They can build up the human values. Yet you saw that they are not fitting in the growing world. Is there something wrong in them, or is it the society which is not accepting?
I feel we need a level playing field.
Okay.
We need basic education, basic primary, secondary, and higher education, basic health services. If we give them a level playing field, they will do very good. So if you see Africans in Europe and America, they are doing very well.
Yes.
So which shows you that if Africans are given a level playing field, they would be very competitive.
They are also accommodated in the society.
Yes.
And why are we not doing that?
I feel we need to visit them. We need to spend time with them. We need to be a part of them. I think we have isolated them, saying that, oh, Africa, I'm not going to go to Africa.
It's looked like a poor country, sufferer, criminals.
Unsafe.
Yeah.
Oh, Africa. You know, if you ask youth, where would you like to go? Europe, America. Nobody says Africa. I would like to invite every youth to spend a few months in Africa. It is such an experience. Gives you such a perspective about life.
From Nigeria, when you moved to the other side, how was the shift? Did you find it all same? The parameters, the flavor was same, or it was?
So further down, it becomes more underdeveloped, and especially Sierra Leone.
So they also have urban and rural society.
Yeah. So every country has a capital city.
Okay.
Capital city has the urban flesh, but rural is very tribal, mostly agro-based economy, and you will see them like Indian tribal village. So, you know, in that way, I could find a lot of similarities in India and Africa. Lot of similarities in the sense of disparity of income. Of course, India, we have come a long way. But still, there are pockets in India which reflect extreme poverty and tribals.
Are they expressive? Africans can express like we Indians have great voice. Everybody has freedom of speech. Our constitution is very strong. Are they having that kind of constitutional support or a political support that allows them to be free to voice? Because what you're saying is they might lack the mainstream facility of health, infra, and education, but do you think they also lack that confidence or a thought process that allows them, or a constitutional support? What is that?
This is ironical, because if you speak to them one-on strong voice, very strong opinions about what they deserve, about what is right, what is wrong, but unfortunately the formal framework of a constitution or government is lacking.
Okay.
So that is why if you see the mainstream media and the whole world,
they don't cover
Africa because they don't have a voice. The day Africans have a voice,
it'll change it around.
It will change the whole world, because it's a virgin area, full of natural resources, full of the most youngest population in the world. They say that the next few decades belongs to Africa.
It's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
And you touched it. You have many friends there now.
Yeah, and it is like family. Africa is family. It's home.
What was the toughest part of when you are talking to people and reaching their connection and making transformation? Was it difficult to deal with people in rural part of it, urban, or the ones who are suffering their own criminal space? You went into jails also. I know you met criminals. How was that? What do criminals mean to you? Do you hold them guilty, or do they hold themselves guilty?
I feel the way I have been brought up, we come from the space of we look at humans as humans, not as criminals, or we are not coming from a space of judgment. I think when you drop your prejudice, it is much easier for you to understand their perspective.
True.
And I felt I'm speaking to someone very normal with a life which is full of ups and downs, and they committed some crime which they are guilty about, which they felt they were not themselves. It just happened.
And the reason for the crime is poverty.
I think it's a mix of a lot of things, not just poverty, a lot of unawareness, lack of education, lack of opportunities, I would say.
How do they receive art of living there? You think you guys could make a difference in their lives?
I was so happy to see the way they accepted and the way they received, especially the meditations and pranayams. In India, somehow as children, we have been to some Guruji,
Yes,
so
we have
some
a culture
idea.
of priests, spiritual leaders.
Yeah, we have some culture of meditation, we have some culture of yoga. But as they say, if you don't have something, you appreciate it much more.
Yes.
And they would go all out. They would say, I can't put it into words how grateful I am. Right now, I am feeling like a newborn. And where were you? You are late. You should have come much before, and I would like you to come to my friends. And that is how I got introduced to new countries, because people would just invite me to new cities, new countries, and would say, just do this program, and it is it is very unique. We have not experienced something.
How do they host their guests? Like we have Atithi Devo Bhava, they also have this belief.
They have that spirit of Atithi
Devo. They just don't say it as a thought, but they live it.
They live it, yeah.
How was your experience meeting the head of the states there? Because you're still invited by many countries to become the permanent member. It's so ironical that people are fighting to get that space. They get married in certain country, they get a job. You see what's happening in America though. But how was your experience when they invite you, especially the head of the states in such places where the social fabric is so beautiful in a way? How was your experience with the head of the states in West Africa?
I feel now the world is opening up to Indian spirituality. There is this shift which has come in the last 2 decades, wherein people are trying to find something more than what comes to the naked eye. And that is how when we met government officials, diplomats, they would be like, please teach me. I have heard my friend has done it. I went to US and Europe, and I bumped into a yoga studio, but I have never experienced.
So at higher level hierarchy also, they're open to learning.
They are open.
They are not arrogant and closed that we are the bosses running the country, so don't tell us what to.
In fact, it's the other way around. They feel that this is the new cool in the world, because they have been educated in Europe or America, so they are more open. Their parents have
been lucky out of the lot to go out.
Yeah.
So for them, it becomes more valuable.
So they were very appreciative of it.
What was the biggest learning, Ankur, there? Because existing in a space of conflict, poverty, a space where everything is so dark, all the terms we are using about West Africa seems like underdeveloped hai, poor hai, conflict area hai. There are some countries you went there which were literally into high conflict zone.
Yeah.
You said there are places which are continuous civil war. Yeah. So what is the basis of survival there? We are not able to survive with everything calm, peaceful. In India, there are pockets in states where continuous cross-firing and issues have been going on, but not the whole of the country. There you have visited to country, I think Liberia, if I'm not wrong, where civil wars had happened. So they have gone through a stress period, elongated one. What have they found as a space of survival?
I feel we are very resilient beings. If pushed into a corner, we find our way out.
We come back.
We really get the best out of whatever is available. And that is what I could see in these underdeveloped countries. They have found their way to live, to exist, to thrive.
Without losing values. Because I don't see them become the fanatics as some countries underdeveloped have created fanatics in the world. They've come out with people who are damaging the whole existence.
Yeah.
We don't hear of West African going to that.
No.
So,
I feel they have not lost their values. They have been pushed to the corner, but they still are standing strong and are still willing to give. No, I had an incredible experience.
Yeah.
I was in this bus, very small bus. It holds just 10 people. And I was out of cash. And this guy asks me the ticket. And I say, I forgot to get cash. And all of them just turned around and they told the conductor, don't ask from him. We are just going to pull in and we are going to pay. That really touched me.
They did not get mad at you, throw you out. In India, it would have been a chaos.
Yeah, and I was so touched. And these people are not very affluent. They are traveling in this bus. It's a very
small, somehow managing.
Yeah, and I felt so overwhelmed that this is the essence of Africa.
They are forgiving.
They are very forgiving and they are so loving for people who have come from abroad, and they feel so protective about you. Where are you going? Should I walk you?
I thought it'll be other way. You will be suspicious throughout your journey.
Yeah.
Any man looking at you, you would be thinking.
That is how I started in Africa. But I completely changed.
Any incident which scared you out there?
I felt there were times when I was walking back home at night. And I would be very alert of who is walking, what is the distance.
Because they all build up big, so you don't know how you could handle them.
Yeah, so that is, I think, a little bit, not scared, but very aware.
How are women in West Africa?
Women are very entrepreneurial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Despite it not being so developed, they know the idea of entrepreneurship.
Because I feel sometimes life pushes you to become an entrepreneur, isn't it?
Yes. In rural India, we have most of them doing handicraft work. Yeah. We just didn't give them a name.
And because of so much gender-based violence and a single parents is a very common thing in West Africa.
So are they very oppressed, the women? Is there a patriarchy also in a form?
Or I would say in a very different way, not as we see it here, but we would go to hospitals to serve and we would find women who are not able to pay their bills.
Okay.
Because they don't know who the father is and they have just given birth to a child and the hospital is not letting them out because they have not paid the bills. So we would actually go and pay the bills so that they could be released.
They would abandon the lady?
Yeah, they would not abandon. They were not there. They were not there since day one. And then I heard that this is very common.
So single woman, unmarried woman, all these aspects are accepted and...
It felt as if...
it's just normal.
It's just there.
And they respect women there.
Again, it's very contextual. I feel in one sense they really respect women. In India, the way we respect women is very different than how in West Africa they respect women.
What is the difference?
I feel if you are walking alone at night, you will never feel unsafe in Africa.
Oh, so that kind of fear you don't need to live
because nobody will look at you with
you're single woman.
Yeah,
let's take a chance.
Let's take a chance or let's take this opportunity. That feeling is not there.
But there must be a feeling of if the woman is leading or doing better than a man. Is there a...
I am not sure.
Then, okay, so that respect is there that she's a woman and she deserves to be safe.
Yeah, and I was so happy to see that.
It is not a favor on a woman that you're safe.
Even in public place, your conduct, your vibrations, you can feel that when you are a single woman. in a bus or something, you can feel the vibes and you would feel so safe there. That is something very beautiful.
If you go back now, or you are going back now, what is that you want to take from here for them? Not materially, but you're going back with what from India to give what? What are you creating in West
this
Africa?
time I would like to take back what we went through, our journey as India, because they will be able to relate to it. If we can do it, they can also do it.
Yes.
So India stands for hope for them.
Yes.
Because we went through a lot of
The British era,
the Mughal era, and we were shattered culturally, emotionally, everything. We had lost everything. We had lost our soul, but we could revive it. And this is a message. This is a very powerful, real life scenario for you to replicate as Africans, that you can do it, and only you can do it. Nobody is going to come to your rescue. You are empowered, you are blessed, and you are ready, and the time for Africa has come.
Now that they've related to Art of Living closely there, how is Art of Living related to West Africa? What are you guys doing in particular only for them that you think is something designed for the people?
So one thing which is very, which I feel very strongly about is Art of Living is starting prison skill centers.
Okay.
And that is that not just gives them a sense of purpose as prisoners.
I think in India we have that. People are into some activity, so they are not there. The same, the culture of people, prisoners given some job and train it is not there.
It is there, but it is in pockets. We want to make this a culture that don't see prisoners as prisoners, but see them as an asset to society. When they come out, let them be plumbers, electricians.
They can get the faith back.
Yeah, and that is what Art of Living is instilling. And we have these youth empowerment programs where we are sharing experiences of success stories where in all over the world where youth have taken a very strong stand and they have become change makers rather than complaining, my government is not good, my country has been oppressed. You come from a space of responsibility that this generation is going to take.
They are
Africa.
smart, the youth.
They are now very smart, very aware, and there.
You have an engagement with any youth that took you off, like
Hayford, with whom I started podcast. His passion for Africa, the zeal, the enthusiasm, his eyes light up when he...
No regrets of coming from there.
He's so proud of being an African. And that is how we started the podcasts with him. I said, you have been taking podcasts, now I am going to interview you. And he shared his life story. And it was incredible.
Are they able to forget what wrong they have suffered or what misery?
So emotionally, they want to forget. Otherwise, it will pull them down.
Yes.
But they don't want to forget it because that is the driving force. Isn't it? If you know what you have gone through, that will become a source of inspiration.
So you want to forgive but not forget.
Yes. Forgive but not forget.
What an incredible journey. I think we should have one series on your each country visit in Africa.
But isn't it so beautiful? Doesn't it give you a different perspective of
Yes,
Africa?
we always question this. Should we forget? Should we forgive? How do we forgive? Are they curious? The people over there have questions? Or they were only learning what you told them?
Lot of questions. What is karma?
They want to know all this.
They want to know because these days on Instagram you hear so much. So they want to know what is spirituality, what is real.
And are they greedy? For money, for ambitious is the right word. So
they are ambitious. They are very ambitious.
They have dreams.
Yeah, they want to go out. They want to visit Europe, America.
But their dreams are not to become the best billionaire. It has to be from West Africa. What are the ambitions like?
They want to travel. They want to
They're
sing.
innocent ambitions.
Yeah, they want to dance. They want to travel all over the world.
It's not about money. It's not about fame.
It is about money because they have gone through poverty. So they want money.
To have the power
For sure.
Yeah.
They want to earn the dollars. US dollars is a very big thing.
Yes. It is very attractive. Coming back to India, Ankur, now you have come here. You keep coming and going. You have recently traveled to other rural area. Before going to West Africa, you were in rural space in India. Where do you think we have, it's not just about Indians per se, where our new generation is going? What is the stumbling? Because I think even the next generation and beyond that can relate to the millennials and before that. Problems are generally common. What are we evolving into? We say हम सब evolve हो रहे हैं, हम सब spiritual रास्ते में आ गए, तो वो evolution क्या हो रहा है? The problems are still the same. Depression अभी भी है, पहले भी था, पहले not spoken much. Suicidal tendencies अभी है, पहले भी थी. We do have incidents, we do have, everything has always been there. What is the shift that you can see?
There's a very big shift. This context which you have brought is very true. At the same time, there is a group of people where they are looking for answers, and this reflects so well in Mahakumbh. You know, so many young people from urban India are going to Mahakumbh for answers.
Otherwise, they were treated like we go for a Coldplay.
Exactly.
I don't want to go to Mahakumbh.
And I saw this research which said that 12 years back when the Kumbh happened, there were not so much participation from urban youth. What does this show you? That people are really looking for answers. People are looking for guidance, but they are a little skeptic. They want authentic guidance. They want a genuine...
This generation wants, they verify the facts. Yes. They are not blindfolded.
They will really ask you questions.
This shift is good?
This shift is very good. People without knowing are getting into spirituality. And that is why Masters Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji has such a big youth following all over the world and specifically in India. And it is incredible the kind of questions they ask. And when their questions are answered, they are like, I am sold.
It is okay if they ask to me, like earlier we would just believe. You told us come, we'll come. You told us do this, we will do. But if they start questioning everything, it is...
I feel it is very healthy.
It is healthy.
It's very healthy. Because you should be given a chance to ask questions.
If I ask you to define some of these terms for the new generation, how would you define depression for them?
I think depression is an illusion. There is no depression. Just come out. Just come out. The whole world is waiting for you. I myself went through so much anxiety and depression in life, and I now realize there is no reason for it. You have made depression a part of yourself as a choice. Come out of it.
And if they say how to come out?
These are the tools which we share. Serve people, reach out to people, have a conversation with a cab driver and see what he's going through. You will come out of your challenges.
Find the answers in some other story.
Yeah, reach out like you are doing. So you meet people from so many different walks of life. It gives you such a beautiful perspective. And sometimes your questions are answered by something which is not related.
Which is not.
So let's move out. Let's walk out of our house and there is no depression. The world is here for you to enjoy. There's so much the world has to offer.
And the next thought is, what is success? When should a youngster say, I am successful?
You know, I'll take a step back. I would say, don't compare yourself with anyone. That is when success becomes diluted. Because you define your success depending on someone else, which has nothing to do with your success.
It is relative. It is not absolute.
No. It is like that famous example. You cannot judge a fish by how it climbs a tree, right? If you give that parameter to the fish.
So there is no parameter to
There is no parameter. Only and only you can define success for yourself. The day you start defining success depending on others, you will always be a failure.
A rich person is more successful than a poor.
Rich is again very relative. You know, the feeling of a rich person can feel very poor. A poor person can feel very rich. It's very subjective.
That's very ironical.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So this success thing, we really need to think about it. But because it's pulling us down, oh, I meet so many young people, I'm not successful. Who said you're not successful?
And what about for this generation, the last thing they want to know is, what is happiness? From the term of stress, depression, success, they do come and say, I am not happy. I don't know what is happiness. What is happiness? Should they look for happiness in musical concerts, which is booming out? Music gives a lot of relief, but again, it's complemented with a lot of other things they take in to enjoy the music. Nobody goes to a music without drinks, without other elements. So where is the absolute happiness? What is happiness for them? They say it's so temporary. I earn so much and I burn it to get that happiness for 2 hours, 3 hours. Then again earn and then again burn.
The more you... So I come from a Marwadi family, and I'm so grateful that I was so privileged since childhood. And I would always say, I'm not happy. And I had everything on my fingertips. Later, I realized that happiness is within. Just sit with your eyes closed, and you will find that you are a source of happiness. Where are you looking for happiness?
Not in friends, not in acceptance in the groups we are born.
Once you have found that, then when you go out, you don't need, in fact, you become a source of happiness for those friends. You don't need it because you are generating it. It's like you have become an electrical powerhouse. You are generating your own electricity. Otherwise, this is very interesting. You have to hear this. Just imagine two people meeting each other. Both are miserable. What are they going to share?
Their miseries.
And we say, oh, friends.
And they'll compare, like, I am less miserable than you.
And then we say, oh, I have friends, but I'm not happy. How can two beggars give money to each other?
But that gives them a comfort, like, tumhari problem, meri problem.
It is very short-lived. And we have all experienced.
So all this jealousy and all comes from there. Someone is doing better, you're jealous, you're not happy.
We have all gone through it. There is no secret in it. We have all gone through it.
But we'll come out of it?
We'll of course come out of it if we take a step back and if we just start to hear ourselves, to experience ourselves. And that happens through meditations. That is how I experienced happiness. Just take a step back, stop. Isn't it a battle the moment we wake up? Aren't we rushing through the day? Are we taking a step back to say that, let me stop. Let me just be with myself for a few moments. And when you practice this day in and day out, when you practice Sudarshan Kriya meditation, you realize that the whole thing has changed.
So even with technology growing, you think this whole generation can hold? Use technology wisely rather than rush with it. Because with technology, we are rushing faster.
Technology will complement it. In fact, technology will not be an impediment, but will help you evolve.
Now it is impediment. All the day reels, all the day social media. So they are saying, should we use or not use?
It is not about use or not use. It is about poison can be a medicine if it is taken in the right way.
How to use?
You should know how to use. Reel can be a very good thing for you, and it can also be a
obsession. You just can take it as an addiction.
So what is the key word here? Obsession.
Yeah.
If you're obsessed about anything, if you're obsessed about reels, social media, people, then it sucks you, then it drowns you. Otherwise, life is so beautiful, I'm telling you. I've experienced...
I've just seen this, but Ankur, today people talking about I'm doing meditation is not called, oh my God, you're not looked down upon. In my time, I would go and tell in my college I'm doing art of living. They're like, what is wrong? Kuch hadsa ho gaya hai.
Right.
So why this sudden acceptance has come? If someone is doing yoga meditation, people look up.
I think technology has played a very big role.
The youngsters also proud to say, meko to Surya Namaskar bhi aata hai.
Because celebrities. Because people from all walks of life are embracing all over the world. Today, in America, yoga is a $1 billion industry. So, and we are used to replicating West, isn't it? So nowadays, I think it's a fad, it's cool.
It has been accepted.
It has been accepted, and people are taking it very...
And they're innovating it.
Yeah, very, very
How
creative.
Beautifully. Yes, then you leave us with your and Guruji's intimacy. How is your relation with Shri Ravi Shankar in your journey of growing?
I think it started with a very innocence.
Did you understand Guru? Did you believe then Guru?
I was very skeptic. Very skeptic because we are coming from Marwari business family, and we have been brought up in an environment where everyone is here to use you, everyone is here to take your money. So I came from that space, which is a space of skepticism, doubt. But when I met Gurudev, I met him with open mind and innocence. But later I realized that I feel very connected to him since a very long time. I don't know why. Even before meeting him, I feel he is mine and I am his, and we are together since ever. This feeling has come after I really started experiencing in the true sense of the word that Master Guru is not a body. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? He's not a person.
Guru Tattva, we say.
Yeah, it's a principle. And it is you. It is not two. It is just you. And that is the most...
It's very securing, but moment I feel nothing else is there in life. I feel if he's there, I can take everything.
It's very complete, I would say.
Yes.
You don't feel incomplete.
How does your family now embrace your journey?
They have been such a support. In fact, because of them, I'm able to do
this. I think it started with them.
Yeah.
Had it not gone through that, it wouldn't have come so beautifully through.
They are the reason why I am here and why I'm able to do this. I always say that all the good karma I am doing, just give it to my family, because...
How sweet. You're a giver.
Yeah, because when you feel full,
you only give.
You can only give. And I feel I have received everything.
You have met people who were not full yet they could give. So
just put yourself in my shoes.
What have you seen? For after that, you'll feel helpless if you don't even go. Like you have everything, your plate is full, you're not giving.
You will feel so bad about yourself. Like come
how
on.
petty.
Yeah, like come on.
How do we wrap this by defining who is Ankur Agarwal today?
It is about losing myself. It is about losing Ankur Agarwal. Only then I can find myself.
So we can only find you when we...
When you can... When he's not there, you can find him, I feel. The more I'm able to surrender, the more I'm able to let go. Only then I can know who is Ankur Agarwal.
Because even if you leave the space, you think it stays.
Yes, it's very ironical. The more you lose yourself that is when you find yourself, isn't it?
Sometimes we lose ourselves in wrong ways. We think we are losing.
I mean, losing in the context of surrendering to a higher power.
Yeah, not losing out to small.
Yeah.
I lost into a love relation. All that triviality has to go.
Yeah. Losing, just merging with one consciousness, and then you really make the best use of your time. Then your whole presence becomes so beautiful. People feel so nice just in your presence. People feel healed.
Just talking to you, it makes me feel now that I have known West Africa for long.
You must come. I would like to invite you to West Africa and experience it firsthand, because it really gives you a completely different perspective about how to live.
On a serious note, how you carried it to us is how we have received it. So they say how you say is how it is received. So I think you brought to us it in a very pleasant way that I think now I won't be even skeptical going there.
Yeah.
Because this whole skepticism was a narrative we draw, and that you could bring us the real picture, it is so easy. We won't be scared that we're going to an underdeveloped nation. I think that also I'm looking forward to it, because they're so inward.
Because I feel you create that ecosystem through this podcast. You create I feel very comfortable. I don't feel I'm in a studio, in a podcast.
I just feel we're just
very home.
Yeah.
Very, like I'm with a very good friend and we are just sitting over a cup of coffee.
And just
heart to heart. So that I feel is very important. That is the essence of IndiaPodcast, and that is your USP.
Yes.
And that is what stands out in today's world where we are bombarded with information. When you bring such authenticity and genuine interest in others' lives.
I personally believe everybody has the power and skill to express. So I think the more they express, the only thing is direction, what you are giving, how to. Like sometimes yesterday we were talking, how to put things in context.
Yeah.
That is missing out.
Yeah.
बोलना कुछ चाहते, बोल कुछ चाहते, and then they're like, ये तो मैं सोचा ही नहीं था.
But I'm really looking forward to you interviewing people from different walks of life. And you will bring the best out.
Now I'm more excited to go beyond India also.
Yeah.
I think that's what you have.
I would like to invite you to Africa, especially West Africa, East Africa, North Africa.
I think it is very important that we bring the global experience here and not just talk about, like in India right now, we are podcasting within each other. So there's over similarity of let's relate the world to each other. Let's not go beyond borders.
That should be the vision of IndiaPodcasts.
Yeah. Let's not make it only within India. Thank you so much, Ankur. It is so beautiful. And we can go on. I think I want to make series every time you come. Every time you come with new experience, we talk.
It is such a pleasure. I feel I have just shared my heart out, and it was effortless.
For me, it was a memory I left in a train conversing with you when we were going to Mangalore Ashram. That image stayed, and I'm still in the same. You were sitting the other side like this in a train.
With no video cameras.
Nothing. We're just talking like this. And I remember that scene, and this is the second image I've created.
Thank you so much for creating this platform.
Thank you for coming.
I'm very grateful.
I'm very happy I made it yesterday. I didn't know you were here.
Yeah. I'm so grateful because this also helps me hear what I'm saying.
Yes.
And I feel, I have gone through so much. I've experienced so much. So this gives you a lot of confidence. And I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Take care. Bless you.